first, we go to Jordan Chariton, our intrepid reporter on the scene, covering the GOP debate tonight in Miami. Jordan, what do you have for us?
Hey, Cenk. Apologize for my profuse sweating. We were just outside with a bunch of crazy people and humidity.
Oh, no. You didn't have to. It's Miami. It would be weird if you weren't profusely sweating. That would mean that you weren't outside and not doing your job.
Yeah. We were outside for an hour or two. You had Trump supporters, Ted Cruz supporters, folks against Donald Trump, and even some Rubio supporters we saw on the way out. So everybody was represented. The first person I spoke with, her name was Jessica Leone. She actually is a Latina who used to work for Donald Trump. And she said she worked at his Doral Miami hotel, Doral in Florida, holding a Latinos for Trump sign. She railed against President Obama, saying she perceives his lack of change. She says he has not implemented any change in the country, and Donald Trump's firmness will. When I asked her about Trump building a wall and creating a trade war, she said Mexico will cave to his demands because the money Mexico gets from the U.S. is too important to the politicians in Mexico because it goes directly to them. So basically, she said Mexico's corrupt and U.S. money is too important to them, so they'll cave to Donald Trump. The most interesting part about her, Cenk, when she's going to be a registered nurse. I asked her about the violence erupting at Donald Trump's rallies around the country. I mentioned last night where an African American got assaulted. She said she's not familiar with these things. She hasn't seen it. I asked her, as a nurse, does she condone Donald Trump telling supporters that he will pay for their legal bills if they punch protesters in the face? He did that during the Iowa caucus. She didn't believe me. So after this, I have her email. I'm going to send her that information. She actually said if she knew about that, that might change her mind.
It is amazing how little people know. And Jordan runs into this all the time when he goes and talks to supporters of the different candidates. And we shouldn't be that amazed. I mean, this is our job. We're knee-deep in all this information. But most people don't have that information. They just know simple things. Trump's for a wall, and he's for winning. Right?
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is for universal health care. I don't even know if they know that. He's against the system, right? Hillary Clinton is a Clinton. Hey, probably 8 out of 10 voters know about this much, right?
They didn't know Jeb and George W. were brothers.
Yeah, that was a real thing. And when asked why they're going to support Donald Trump in a focus group that Frank Luntz did, one of the guys said, well, he's going to make America great again. It says it right on his hat.
Oh.
Okay, so now Jordan sees that every day.
Moving on to the next person I spoke with. This one was a little crazier. His name was David Rosenthal. He's a Ted Cruz supporter, and he was wearing a pig hat. He was wearing a pig hat because he says somewhere in Europe, a man was arrested for refusing to take off a pig hat because the pig hat was offensive to Muslims.
Oh.
And he believes in the right to offend Muslims. There's more. He also called for Muslim immigration to halt on the grounds that the Quran condones polygamy, and no Muslim would ever denounce the Quran, therefore they could be legally barred. He also said human beings are not meant for self-governance, and he would prefer God coming to earth to take control of the kingdom. And I just want to be clear, this was a normal guy in perfect mental health, all that. And lastly, when I pressed him on whether Ted Cruz is really a strict constitutionalist, if he's blatantly disregarding the Constitution when it comes to the Supreme Court nominee and President Obama's right, he said he thinks that's more than reasonable. And the best part, I pressed him on gun control. Exact quote, "I'm not smart enough to answer your question."
Well, we appreciate that honesty.
Yeah.
We do.